Hey ho! This is the People's Lima once again. Eric Lima. What's going on? Another episode coming at you. 384 episodes. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite places to go to when I was a kid growing up. When I was a little young rapscallion in my heyday of the 80s and early 80s and 90s. It's a place that I only went to 4 times. But it was one of my favorite places to go to. And it's an amusement park. Known to each and every one of us here in southern New England, especially those natives in Rhode Island, Rocky Point Park, aka Rocky Point Amusement Park. I first went there back in, I believe, 1983 or 84. I think it was 1984 when I was part of, probably earlier than that, 82, 83 maybe. I believe 83 or 84. I forget which date it was. But I was part of the an after-school program known as YMCA Latchkey program. Yes, I was a latchkey kid back in the day. Don't judge. And I first went there, and it was a cool place to go. And I thought when I stepped out of the bus, and we looked up, and we were like, "Wow!" I think we had because the after-school program was divided into 3 schools back in the day. It was Parker School, which I was part of because it's right near my home, Hayden McFadden, or aka Haymack, and Gomes School. So Parker School, since being the closest to where I live in the vicinity, I decided, well, I went to the Parker School one. And I went there, and it was totally cool. The whole thing of Rocky Point. It was totally awesome. Totally radical, as we would say back in the day. Nowadays, I would say it totally reeked of awesomeness, you know. 5-second pose. So, I went in and was looking at all these rides and all that. If I had a camera back then, I'd be taking pictures and then preserving them until, until the time is right to, put them in film and everything else, yada, 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 all those disposable cameras, and preserve them. I would have. But didn't. So anyways, but thank God for the internet. So anyways, I decided one of the first rides I went to was the Apollo 11. It was really cool. And I went in there, I screamed, and I had a good time. Whoa! And I had a lot of fun. And so what road are we going to go next? I think I went on the Flume. The Flume was a lot of fun. The Flume was great. I went, whoa! Splash! There's all the water splashing and everybody waiting outside, all get drenched. But holy cow, can't we do that again? And it was a lot of fun. So, one of the rides I went to that I didn't like and didn't want to go on again, never went on again, thank God, was the House of Horrors. I first went in and I was like, oh boy, with a couple houses. I was in the middle, and I had 2 of my friends outside, and I was so scared. I was like, oh my God. I was frightened. I never wanted to go on that ride again. I almost wanted to hide behind one of the counselors back in the day. It was really, really crazy, So I went on that ride, and it was, nowadays it'd be like, now I want to sit in the ride, and if it's pitch dark, I want to do my Undertaker impression. Rest in peace. Knock it off. What? That was not me. I would say, yeah, right, quit lying. Okay, fine. Shut up. That would have been funny. That would have been hilarious. I'm like, if I'm scared, just do my Undertaker impression, and they're like, knock it off. They start laughing all the way. Your ugly face is scaring everybody. Good. They should be scared of me for once. Anyways, yeah, I never want to go on there again. And then one of the other rides I went on that I never want to go on again, it was the Enterprise. I thought the Enterprise was just, almost like the Apollo 2 almost. But then it started going up, and I'm like, no, get me down. So I was scared of heights and everything else. It was really frightening. And so it turned into a Ferris wheel. Or I call it the scrambled egg Ferris wheel, but it was known as the Enterprise. Another ride I went on was, I went on the Scrambler. I went on the Tilt-A-Whirl. Had a lot of fun on there. I also went on the scooters or the bumper cars. I had a lot of fun there too. And I went on the Rock and Roll. With the youth group, I went on the Rock and Roll, the Scrambler, Tilt-A-Whirl. I had a lot of fun on those. I went twice with the I went twice with my latchkey program. We went back to back years. I played 84, 85. What was it? 83, 84, 84, 85, I think. And then I went with my church the first time around. I believe it was 1987, the summer of 87. No, was it the summer? Tyler was born in July, so it had to be in 88. So it had to be the early summer of 88, I believe. Talking May or June of 88, I went. And then May or June, and 7 years later after 88, I went in June of 95, which I went through a lot. Going to Rocky Point kept my mind off everything else. I had a lot of fun going to Rocky Point. It was great. I miss Rocky Point Park, Rocky Point Amusement Park. I miss it so bad. It was one of my. It was back in the day when it said Rocky Point is my joint. You know, when you say talking about a joint, you talk about. People smoking and everything. No, back in the day, I think joint means more of a place, slang term, more like an urban term for a place. Yo, that's my joint, man. That's my joint. See that place right? That's my joint. So Rocky Point was my joint back in the day, and so it was, and I got a couple of books. In fact, Newsbreak, thankfully, had a couple of books on Rocky Point that I picked up on. The first one is by Images America by David Betancourt and Stephanie Chauvin. Giving them a shout out, and in fact, they did a great job. I read this book, totally awesome. The History of Rocky Point Park, which started in 1847 in Warwick Rhode Island. So Rocky Point Park, I've loved it. The Midway, and in fact, they had an arcade there and everything else. And believe me, I would have had a time machine to go back in time and take me to Rocky Point Park, and I would have said, Rocky Point's my joint, use the money to go and rip the hole in space-time to continue. And David Betancourt came out with a second one of Images of Modern America, Rocky Point Park. You see all the pictures there. 1938, a hurricane destroyed, devastated southern New England, Rocky Point Park. And then it got revived, and before you know it, it gone another 50 years until it closed down in 1995. Ironically, it was the last time I went to Rocky Point. It was on last year. So this is a book. So if you guys are fans of Rocky Point, find these on Amazon or eBay, or even go to your local bookstore. They could have. If my local friends, they're at Newsbreak in the Route 6 New Bedford Haven Bridge. So, and they're there. So pick them up if you have to. Both 23 bucks, 23 bucks each. $21.99 for the Images of America, and the one for the Images of Modern America, $22.99. It's so it's one. It's just unbelievable. This Rocky Point Park, I miss it so much, and I heard they're trying to rebuild it or do something with it. I hope they at least get a Rocky Point Park museum or something. I don't care. Just get it done. That's why I go to the Whalen City Carnival. Even though the festival's no longer there, but the carnival's still there. The reason why, because it reminds me of Rocky Point Park a little bit, and just a little bit. It's just a miniature version, unfortunately. So you can't do much there. So it's going to be something else. So that's why I missed the Whalen City Festival, because it kind of reminds me of a lot of Rocky Point. Just more than just carnival rides. It had wrestling. That's why I always talk about it. So yeah, Rocky Point Park is one of my favorite parks to go to, amusement parks to go to back in the day. No longer there, obviously. I'll miss it. So, if to all my local friends out there, if you remember Rocky Point, tell me what your favorite ride is, or what do you like about it, what you miss about it, and all that on my comments videos. Please, it's on the subject only, please. Thank you very much. Well, that's all the time we have on the show, as you know. Apparently, we don't have no more snowstorms for the rest of the week. And it looks like the first week of February is kicking off very nicely in the 40s and 50s. So, stark contrast from last year, obviously. So, because usually around this time last year we got hit with snow, hit with a snowstorm, and first week of February with that. A week from tomorrow is the Dino Supercharged premiere of Power Rangers, second season coming around. Last time we left the first season, obviously. Kendall became the Purple Ranger. We'll see what happens. We have a new villain. Going to play a little bit of mind games with the Rangers. So, be very interesting to see what happens. Well, not only that, a week from tomorrow is my sister's birthday, 30th birthday. Depends on what happens. next week weather-wise. I'm hoping to celebrate her birthday, and we're gonna go bowling. And, we'll have a lot of fun. I'll probably bring my GoPro, so it's gonna be very interesting joint. So be on the lookout for me actually bowling instead of on the Wii U. So that's all the time we have on the show. Remember, to all the haters out there, please eat a Snickers bar and change your quackish. And how about all my family, relatives, friends, and subscribers and followers? Please, whatever you do in life, keep it homey fresh. Peace, love,